imperialism, the domination of one country over another's land, resources, and people was the driving force of global politics in the 19th century. Under Napoleon III, France raced for power, trade, and influence. Was his ambition the key to France's glory or the cause of its downfall? Let's find out.
Who was Napoleon III? Napoleon III was the president of the Second Republic of France from 1848 to 1852. Then he was the Emperor of France from 1852 to 1870. Throughout his adulthood, Napoleon III unsuccessfully tried to seize the throne of France multiple times from 1836 to 1846. In December 1848, Napoleon III received over 5 million votes and won the presidency of France. What was Napoleon III's role during the Age of Imperialism? Napoleon III was the Emperor of France from 1852 to 1857. He played a major role in French imperialism during this time. In Italy, he pushed back against the parameters of the Congress of Vienna by expanding French influence into Italy. He also established a presence in the Ottoman Empire and Russia by involving himself in the Crimean War. He also engaged in colonial expansion. He expanded French Indochina, which is Vietnam, and funded the Suez Canal in Egypt. He also expanded French territory in West Africa.
One of the Napoleon's III's primary goal was to reassert French influence worldwide. He dreamed of opening new markets for European products, spreading Christianity, and fostering what he called civilization in non-European countries. He sought to modernize France's economy by expanding trade and creating colonial bases overseas. Napoleon III wanted France to be seen as the light of progress. Napoleon III modernized the French banking system, greatly expanded and consolidated the French railway system, and made the French merchant marine the second largest in the world. These changes didn't just benefit France domestically, it also strengthened France's global network and innovation.
Although Napoleon III helped modernize France, he established an authoritarian regime, limiting political freedoms and suppressing dissent.
Napoleon's rule was marked by censorship and a lack of political plurality. Napoleon III's foreign policy ultimately led to many military failures, most notably the disastrous Franco-Prussian War, which resulted in France's defeat and the end of his rule. This war significantly damaged France's reputation and territorial integrity. All in all, his authoritarian governance and the subsequent collapse of his empire contributed to the political instability in France.
Napoleon III's effects are still felt today because he commissioned the public works program carried out by Georges Eugene Haussmann, which included the deconstruction of crowded and unsanitary neighborhoods and the building of parks, avenues, and park squares. The beauty of France became a result of this. Due to his founding of the Bank of France, which helped French businessmen, the French economy brought itself out of economic despair. Today, France is among the countries with the strongest economy. It ranks at number 7. Because of Napoleon, France has a more centralized government, displayed by its Fifth Republic today, which may not exactly be a good thing just because people don't have as much power. Napoleon's attempts at expanding the French, for example, when Napoleon tried to expand it to Mexico, helped the French with foreign policy today. Most of Napoleon's attempts failed, but France still kept its belief of being an international power. They wanted to uphold that image. That is still shown today, as France is still trying to expand and trying to grow its influence in other countries and areas today. However, the Franco-Prussian War humiliated the French country due to Napoleon's inadequate military control and instability. This resulted in them to reform their military, and it caused a strong sense of nationalism, which is still seen today.
My thoughts on Napoleon III. Napoleon III's leadership during the Age of Imperialism is a fascinating yet troubling chapter in history. While he is often credited with modernizing France and enhancing its infrastructures, his imperial ambitions ultimately revealed a more complex and contentious side of his rule. His aggressive foreign policy, particularly shown in the failed interventions in France and his involvement in the Franco-Prussian War, showcased a reckless pursuit of glory that prioritized national prestige over the welfare of its people in France. These actions not only led to military disasters, but also fostered resentment abroad, damaging France's international standing. Furthermore, his authoritarian measures to suppress dissent revealed a leader more focused on maintaining power than fostering democratic principles. Overall, Napoleon III's legacy is a cautionary tale about the perils of ambitious leadership, unanchored by responsible governance, particularly in the period marked by colonial aspirations and global tensions.